Open your phone. Grocery app. A dozen eggs, $4.29. Your neighbor. Same app, same store, same eggs. $5.27. Same product, same moment, different price. Why would the algorithm charge you 28% more for clicking the same button at the exact same time? In 2025, an investigation proved this isn't random. It's a system. And you're the test subject. This is how the price of desperation works. To understand how we got here, you need to see how fast this moved. 2012, Hurricane Sandy. Uber changes $219 for a 7-mile ride. Public outcry. Agreement with NY Attorney General to cap surge pricing. 2017, Hurricane Irma. Uber learns turns off surge. But airlines. Flights jump from $547 to $3,200. The rules changed for Uber, but not for the rest of the economy. While we watch taxis during hurricanes, the same pricing engine entered your grocery cart. Quietly, constantly, for no emergency at all. What happened next was caught on camera. Well, on 437 cameras, simultaneously. December 2025, 3 weeks before Christmas. Consumer Reports and Groundwork Collaborative publish a bombshell. Instacart, 250 million orders in the first 3 quarters of 2025, has been running secret price experiments on its own customers. The methodology was surgical. 437 volunteers, 4 cities, same stores, same items, same moment. And here's what they found. 3 out of 4 products, different prices for different customers. A dozen Lucerne eggs from a Seattle Safeway, 5 different prices. At the same time, same shelf. A box of wheat thins, up to 23% variation. 437 people, 4 cities, 3 weeks. That's 437 grocery runs where someone paid more for the exact same cart as the person behind them. You wouldn't have known either. You would have thought you were seeing the price. In reality, you were test subject number 247 in an experiment you never signed up for. None of them knew, and if Consumer Reports hadn't published this data set, you still wouldn't know. How did this happen? September 2022. Instacart acquires Eversight, an AI pricing platform, for $59 million. The pitch to retailers: optimize prices. The practice: let Albertsons, Costco, Kroger, Safeway, Target, Sprouts test how high they could push prices before customers walked away. And here's a detail Instacart didn't expect anyone to find. Consumer Reports discovered. Pricing experiments at Target, a company that told reporters it had no business relationship with Instacart. Instacart later admitted it scrapes Target's public prices, adds its own markup, and runs experiments there too. They couldn't explain why. The estimated cost? Up to $1,200 a year for a typical American family of 4 for the same food from the same store. You've probably ordered groceries online this month, maybe this week, maybe today. You probably assumed the price you saw was the price. But Instacart had 3 ways to defend this. Let me show you. 3 doors. Green door, transparent dynamic. Pricing. The rideshare app shows high demand. The price goes up. You know what you're paying and why. More drivers get on the road. Clear. Social benefit. Yellow door. The gray zone. The e-commerce site shows you a price. You clear your cookies. The price changes. Was it your history? A test? You'll never know. The Instacart case started here. Red door. Ethical failure. The system uses proxies. Your zip code, your device, your health searches to infer your income or your desperation and charges accordingly. This isn't pricing anymore. It's algorithmic discrimination. Instacart said they were in the yellow door. The evidence suggests they were pushing into the red. Which door did they actually choose? Let's look at the receipts. Drop a 1 if you've seen different prices online. Drop a 2 if you're checking your grocery app right now to see if your test subject number 438. I read every comment. I want to know how many of you just became aware you're in the laboratory. But before we see how this ended, let me show you something. 2 weeks ago, we ran a test. Same route, same dates, same airline. First search, normal Chrome browser. Price, $487. Second search, incognito mode. Same flight. Price, $147. $340 difference for clicking search in a different browser. Now you need to understand the machine behind this, because Instacart isn't the disease, it's the symptom. There are 2 types of algorithmic pricing. The first, dynamic pricing, a system that reacts to the market, time of day, inventory, demand. It's blind to who you are. The second is darker, personalized pricing, a system that reacts to you, your search history, your zip code, your device, your estimated urgency. It calculates the maximum price your specific profile is willing to pay. The quantum leap of the last decade wasn't the idea. It was the scale. Today, AI systems analyze billions of data points in milliseconds to answer one question. What's the most this person will pay? When the scandal broke, the dominoes fell fast. The Federal Trade Commission sent a civil investigative demand. 12 members of Congress sent formal letters. Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer called for a federal investigation. The New York Attorney General opened a probe. On December 22nd, 3 days before Christmas, Instacart capitulated. They announced, effective immediately, Instacart is ending all item price tests on our platform. They said the tests missed the mark, that it was not okay for a company built on trust, transparency, and affordability. This wasn't a leak. It was investigative journalism that exposed a system operating in broad daylight, but invisible to the people who mattered. This is just one of the shadow structures operating on your money, without your knowledge. If you want to see the next one exposed, subscribe, because the dating app investigation is even darker. If this were just one company, one platform, one scandal, it would be a business story. But it's not. You probably searched for a flight this month. Let me show you what happened behind the screen. Airlines. We tested this. Same route, normal Chrome versus incognito mode. The difference, $340. Pharmaceuticals. In the US, insulin can vary by hundreds of dollars, depending on which pharmacy, which app, which insurance portal you use. Same molecule, different algorithms, different prices. Dating apps. Tinder just agreed to pay $60.5 million. To settle claims, it charged users over 30 up to double for the same features. A Mozilla study found the app can charge up to 5 times more, depending on your location and device. But that's a story for the next episode. Now, here's the argument you'll hear from the other side. Economists defend that personalized pricing can subsidize products, charge more from those who can afford it, offer discounts to the vulnerable. But in the Instacart case, no evidence that lower prices were directed to low-income families. The variations were random or correlated with purchasing behavior, not real need. Consumer Reports found different prices for the same customers on different days. No pattern of helping anyone. Instacart itself called the $1,200 estimate wildly misleading. But even that defense reveals the truth. This was experimentation for profit, not charity. It wasn't Robin Hood. It was a laboratory. And right now, this laboratory is running experiments. On flights you search for, medicine you need, groceries you buy every week. The only difference between you and those 437 volunteers. They found out. So, why did the algorithm decide you should pay more? And what can you do about it? The system decides based on data. Your location, your history, your device, your urgency, your willingness to compare, which means your first defense is controlling what data you give it. Track prices. Extensions like Keepa and Honey show price history graphs. If a site says 50% off, verify whether the original price ever existed. Browse incognito for sensitive searches, flights, medicine, insurance. Use private mode. It resets your session profile. We tested it. $340 difference. Wait if you can. Volatility works both ways. Prices that go up also come down. Digital patience is an underrated weapon. Compare actively. Don't buy from the first screen. Open a second browser. Check a different app. Digital laziness is the algorithm's best friend. Demand transparency. New York's Algorithmic Pricing Disclosure Act, effective November 2025, requires companies to disclose when personal data affects your price. The EU is proposing a right to explanation. Support legislation like this. The goal isn't to end dynamic pricing. It's to ensure that, in the digital economy, the basic rule still applies. If you're going to charge me differently, at least tell me why. We just saw how an algorithm can charge you more for the same box of eggs. But what happens when the algorithm puts a price on something you can't comparison shop for? Love. In January 2026, Tinder agreed to pay $60.5 million to settle a decade of lawsuits. The charge: if you were over 30, you paid double for the same swipes. But that's just the price you see. A Mozilla study found 31 different price points for the same subscription in the same country, up to 5 times more. And on Valentine's Day, 2024, 6 users sued Match Group for what they called a predatory business model. Their claim: the apps aren't designed to find you love. They're designed to keep you swiping, paying, and alone. The co-founder of Tinder admitted the swiping feature was inspired by a psychology experiment that turned pigeons into compulsive gamblers. In the next episode, we investigate the $6 billion industry built on the most vulnerable human emotion there is. If you don't want to be test subject number 438 in someone else's laboratory, send this to 2 people who grocery shop online. 437 volunteers found out. Millions still don't know, and the algorithm counts on that.